Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's take a walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from St. Arnold Brewing. These guys are down in Texas. This is their 17. They call this Bishop's Barrel 17. And St. Arnold does some really tasty stuff. This was sent to me by my good friend and brother Brandon C. down in Texas. And he adds a little thing here with more information than they give us on the bottle. It says date brewed February 4th of 2016, date racked March 10th of 2016, date bottled February 16th of 2017. Beer style, they call this an Atom beer. Type of barrel was Woodford Reserve bourbon barrels. It gives the original gravity, the final gravity, and the alcohol before barreling was 10%, and after the barreling is 13.2%. So it gained 3.2 points on the ABV scale. Bitterness is 30 IBUs. So I appreciate Brandon adding that additional information here that he's taped on the back of the label here. He sent me a 17 and an 18. I still have the 18 in there. We will be doing that in the next coming days. Guys, they're different styles. Each one of them is a different style. If it was the same style of beer, a lot of times I'll do a vertical side by side. But man, let me tell you, I'm 60 years old, and when I start doing verticals of beers that are 13, 14, 15, or even bigger side by side, that pounds my head. It's just hard for me to do verticals on two beers of different vintages that are that magnitude of an ABV. So I don't know how many more I can do when they're that magnitude. If we're doing an 8 or 9% vertical to maybe even 10, but when you start getting up to 13, 14, 15 or bigger, trying to do two of these at the same time, whew, that's a lot of alcohol for this old man. So just would rather not. And I have a bunch of beers in the closet from different vintages, especially the big heavier beers. That it's just too hard on me to do two 15% or 13% beers side by side. And that's the only beers I'm having for the day. Like I said, do two of those, and to start off with a 13 to 15%er for the first beer of the day, that's hard on the palate too. So it is on me. And you young bucks, y'all could probably take it. But this old man, I just don't want to feel like crap or whatever the next day. This is Friday. I got to work tomorrow. So I don't want to do two side by side. Especially stuff like this when they do different styles from year to year. It's not like you're doing two of the same style beer side by side, just different vintages. So enough talking. Like I told you, 13.2% after it comes out of the bourbon barrels. Untapped has a big long, let me jump through this real quick, guys. Atom beer aged in bourbon barrels. Bishop barrel number 17 pours a mahogany color with ruby highlights. Is slightly hazy beer with pronounced toffee and honey aromas and chocolate when it's cold. The smoke from the base beer is subtle. As it warms up, it becomes more into balance with the rest of the flavors. The wood character blends well with the smoked malt. The whiskey plays a supporting role in this beer. At first sip, the honey and chocolate are well balanced with the whiskey finishing off. This is indeed a dessert beer. The smoke provides just enough to balance the sweetness, perfectly paired with a bar of chocolate, smothered in toffee and honey, next to the fire while wearing your finest velvet smoking jacket. So, that's it. As far as IBUs here, guys, Untapped has it at 30. 13.2% ABV, 30 IBUs. So, let's get this thing open. Like I said, final beer of the evening for me. And Brandon, thanks a bunch, my brother, for sending me all the wonderful beers you do, sir, down in Texas. Number 17, Bishop's Barrel. Well, I pour this, not pouring much of a head, so let's stand this thing up. Food pairing, cheese of buttery, brie, good Havarti Swiss, general digestive, glassware to pint, Becker Nonic tumbler snifter, oversized wine glass, got my favorite snifter, and can be sold for long periods under proper conditions. I've had this one for a while. He sent this a while back, and I've had them cellaring in the refrigerator for a while. Straight down the center, guys, no head at all. Over into the light is a brown murky mahogany, getting a little bit of red hues out to here, but it's pretty cloudy. It's pretty murky. And this is considered an old ale. A lot of the old ales are bigger beers, and they do sell it very well. To the nose we go. Big bourbon notes. Oh, I love to smell that. Oh yes, wonderful bourbon notes on this, guys. Hints of toffee, caramel, molasses. Not getting a lot of the smoked or the peatiness of the beer, because it's cold. It's right out of the fridge. That may come out as it warms up. And I'm not getting a whole lot of chocolatey notes either right now. More of a, like I said, more of a rich malt, mahogany, molasses, a little bit of caramel and toffee in there. I smell it that I'm doing this. And I haven't even tasted it. What's up with that? Like I can smell it and start chewing on it. I love the bourbon notes on this. So let's dive in. Final beer of the evening, like I said. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Brandon C. down in Texas. Oh, yeah. I love it when they use first run barrels. And this definitely tastes like it's a first run barrel. And I mean by first run, it's never had beer in it before. They get these barrels from the breweries, and they put beer in it for the first time, and I don't know how, it doesn't tell me how long here they left it in there, but they left it in there long enough for it to pick up on those nuts. That little bug flying around in here. You want some of this? Don't you dare. Wow, that's so delicious. That's so smooth. I am getting hints of the alcohol, but my gosh, for 13.2%, fairly easy drinking. Now, I don't know if that would be the case if it was the first beer of the evening for me and I jumped on a 13.2%er, not having anything before it to prime the palate, if you will. That's a big beer. This would be one you would want to drink at home unless you had a designated driver, guys. Now that it's opening up a little bit more, if I'm flapping my gums, I'm getting a little bit of vanilla and coconut in it too. A little bit of woodiness and slight hint of that smoked malt. And it's just going to get more intense as it warms up to room temperature. That's why I always let that happen. Wow, that's delicious. And it's just going to get better as I sip on it. So let's do that. Let me sip on it, let her have some, and we'll come back and see where this one ends up. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping up for a little while. Awesome beer. Caramel, toffee, rich roasted malt, smoked malt, black molasses, nice bourbon notes. Doesn't seem boozy now that I've been sipping on it for a while. It's warmed up to room temperature. Excellent beer, guys. It really is. I find this very enjoyable, a great final beer of the evening for me. Very, very well made, even though it's a 13.2%. The alcohol is very well hidden, very well done. It is a very well done. St. Arnold's does some really good, especially their Brewers Reserve beers and their Bishop's Barrel beers are very, very tasty. Their Divine Reserve and their Bishop Barrel beers are awesome, guys, and they do something different for each one of them. So you get a little change up from year to year. Kind of hard to do a vertical side by side because they're different each time. So very delicious, very, very delicious. A great final beer of the evening for me. Sellers very well. If you've got one of these, it's going to keep for a long, long, long time, guys. And most of their heady beers, their Divine Reserve and their Bishop Barrel versions are very tasty and sell very well. Final joke. Awesome bourbon notes on this. Wow. Final joke. I am not going to leave that. Delicious, guys. This is definitely an A beer, guys. To me, I'm going to give this a 97. Definitely an A beer. Definitely an A beer. You say, oh my God, that's a 10 beer. Oh, you crazy. I would not agree with that. It is outstanding. It is very, very delicious, guys. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 4.08, which is their A- scale. I think it's a little better than an A-. That's why I gave it what I gave it. Over to Untapped. Untapped has it at 4.13. That is their A- scale also. I don't consider that their numbers till they get to 4.25 to be to the A category. So I'm definitely giving it a lot better numbers than both of these groups are giving it. So 97 for me, definitely an A beer, guys. A great beer to cellar. And if you have deep pockets, pick you up well, I doubt if you can even find this. You may be lucky enough to find the 17 version still on the shelf. I'm not sure. A great beer to cellar. Pick up a 4-pack of these because I'm sure that's how it's produced. And drinking one fresh or as fresh as you can. Like I said, I'm not sure if they're even still available. Anybody that knows anything about beers have probably picked up all of these that were on the shelf at the time. So unless you picked it up when it did come out, you're probably SOL. Unless you trade somebody for it or have somebody like Brandon C, like I do, that will send you something like this or trade you something like this. So if you see any of the Bishop's Barrel version beers, you probably pretty much bet that they're gonna be great beers. Pick you up a 4-pack of them, have one fresh, have one a couple years down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, even longer, because they're gonna keep. They are. So without me rambling on, guys, if you've had this one from St. Arnold, this is their Bishop's Barrel number 17. Awesome beer, guys. Very, very tasty. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.